It's just too new. Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks Inside This Box. It's just too new to have a buying source for you. I don't even have a spec sheet on this thing, but I can tell you without a doubt this is one of the finest Android smartwatches ever. FINOW! Welcome back. You guys from a long time ago, 2016-ish, you remember FINOW? They made some of the finest Android watches, all solid stainless steel back, body, everything. Amazing leather bands. Oh, welcome home. Oh my goodness. This is a really, really nice Android 7.1.1 full-on smartwatch with all the bells and whistles we've come to expect, and the FINOW startup logo. If you recall, they did the X line, right? The X5 and all that, and air and I don't know, water and earth and wind and fire. And now we're back with a new X7, and this is the basic one. And for basic, it's great. It's absolutely great. Really solid watch. It's got a good loudspeaker, as you can tell. Got two buttons on it that are color-coded. See the fine detail there, red and black around the edges. A camera on the side, which sadly appears to be 2 megapixels up interpolated to what you call 5 megapixels. But we'll see. And then a variety of watch faces as it comes up. We're going to get into this in a minute, but let's check out what else is in the box, which is really packed in here. Okay, we've got a manual. Yes, this wasn't even supposed to be in the box, but I guess they just got it out. We've got another screen protector if you want to actually put a real screen protector on here. Comes with a charging dock. By the way, wait till later in the video. I got a surprise for you. That a lot of people don't know about. I didn't even know about it until I accidentally discovered it. But inside the bag is a standard micro USB that plugs into the charging dock. The dock slaps onto the back, magnetically coupled, strong enough to literally hold the watch, and there's your charger. These guys have been known for doing the dock thing. Now look carefully. You've got 4 pins in an arc. You've got a little guide pin in the middle. You see that tiny little thing there? And you got a guide hole right there. That's going to be important. Stick with me. There. This is why this is such a doggone high-end watch. I mean, I would rank this up there with all those fancy Google Wear OS by Google watches that are out there, the Samsung ones and LG ones and whatnot, because it's top-notch quality construction. I don't know how good you can see on the TV, but look at that screw. It is not your normal screw. Look at that driver. Nope, not your normal driver. This is a specialized screwdriver that fits these particular screws when I get it in there, and that is how you remove the back to put in a SIM card. Will I do it? Yes, I've done it, and I got some great news for you regarding 4G. Oh yeah! Did I forget to mention 4G smartwatch here? Full on. That's everything in the box. And the manual, which we should take a look at. Chinese here. English here. I'm going to go down and over. Not sure if that's the right order, but there's a picture of the thing in black. We got the silver version. Sweet, huh? Yeah, we'll look at the watch faces in a little while. You've got this. Gallery, music. User's manual. Okay, here's what's inside of it. File information. Somehow I got a feeling it goes across this way. What do you think? Here we go. There's all your charging information, SIM card installation, settings and such. If they're out of order, you can always go back and freeze frame to read them in the correct order. But we just want to get them on the screen for you. Only place I know that's anal enough to go through and show you the manual on camera, eating up precious time. But you can skip through this if you want to. Way cool watch, the FINOW X7. I'm so glad they're back in the game. It's been a long time since we've seen an Android smartwatch from these guys. And that's all Chinese there. All right, let me clear things out and tell you some great stuff about this. Here's what it looks like on. Here is the ambient mode display. Sweet. There, we're back into the main display of one of the mini watch faces on board. It's a little thick. Yep, gotta admit that. There's the speakers right there. But it's got a great battery in it as well. Beautiful leather band on this one. And let's check this out. Because it being absolutely solid stainless steel everywhere, it's going to be a little heavy. That's one thing I noticed. 100 grams. Oh, you can't see it there. All right, it's 100. It's washed out on the video. 100.7 grams. Probably the heaviest watch I have ever tried on. It is solid. It's definitely going to make a statement. And being thick like this, if you wear long sleeve, you're going to have a little bit looseness in your cuffs to be able to get your coat over it and such. A little bit of a drawback there, the weight and the thickness. But as far as an overall dress watch, it's amazing. Let's give a quick run through. Here you go, 4G. Can you guys see that? Yep, I have an AT&T SIM card in here, and I'm going to show you some info on that. Bluetooth, if it's tethered and connected, is there. Your date, your power, everything that you've come to know and expect. I got Wi-Fi on. I can turn cellular data on here, which I've done. I got Bluetooth, location services, airplane. This is your brightness. We're at level 1. Here's level 2, and bright is so bright you can't even see the colors. It's washed them out completely on here. I have to run this on the lowest level for you to see it on camera. Yes, it's viewable outside, even in sunlight, driving in the car, looking at the watch with a good watch face on that's high contrast. I can see the screen, I can read the time. That silences the watch if you want to, or brightens it up so you can hear it. You've also got the cleanup thing. All this is 7.1.1 stuff. Music player, if I swipe again, you'd get the weather and centigrade and Fahrenheit. See another screen on a different video if you want to see that. Off to this way, these are the push notifications coming in from my phone to the watch right now, and there's just many of those. This way, you get into your overall app drawer that has your stock apps. We'll look at that in a minute. And you do not have the swipe to the fitness. That's one thing that most of the other 7.1.1 Android watches have. That the implementation of that on here is not there. However, it is here when you go down into fitness, which you will find way the heck down here. There. And when you go into that, you get the color display just like you do when you go into the same app on all the other watches. And you have the same selection of an outdoor run and so forth. See the 3 dots at the top? This is selecting the actual event that you want to do. Here are your results. And here is your information on GPS. If I click that, it turns on GPS, same as if I would have slid down and hit the location services. That activates GPS for when I actually do an event. And if you start an event and you hit go, it's gonna go to setup and turn all of this stuff on. I guess we still have to do it this way to get it going and go. And it's gonna look for GPS. It's gonna get it, lock it in, give you the countdown, and when it begins, your location, or sorry, your distance is gonna be flashing. That means you're on GPS. Of course, your heart rate will be flashing, and that means, you see it go off? Yeah, this is one of those intelligent ones. It's not going to read thin air or a Twinkie or a beer can. It's going to only read your finger or your arm or your nose or wherever you wrap this thing around. And it'll give you an accurate heart rate as well. Plus, you're getting the distance right there. 102, I believe it the way I'm amped up right now. I love this watch. Let's get out of here. Long press gets me out of there. And I could delete it or save it, but I want to take you over here and show you a bike run. Here's a bike ride that I did, and there's some statistics that come in on it. And look at this, I got a hysterical track. Very hysterical, look at that. It goes, and it follows it all the way down. The bad news is I really don't get a whole map, get a map thing going. It is a track against a map, but it's not bringing in, for my location anyway, the map. It's probably using different kind of map than Google, but if it had Google, yeah, maybe that'll be coming. But we have that track there, and then you could delete the whole thing. So really nice look at the fitness activity going on here. And finally, if I swipe up, you've got your step count total averaged over the week with settings for your gender and height and all that kind of stuff. Your steps for the day, kilometers walked, and calories burned. And of course, this is based on step, stride, average, distance. It's not tied to GPS. If you want good GPS accurate distance data, you're going to use the fitness app to get that. Other than that, you've got the same old things. You got the your app store that's their app store now for the common apps like Facebook and Twitter, WhatsApp and YouTube. You don't even need to be in the Google Play Store, but you have that as well. Some of these, like display brightness, are ones I've added. You got YouTube, of course, that's in here now, and Chrome. I've added a whole bunch of stuff. Assistant is where you tie in to connect your phone to the Wear, Believe It Pro, whatever app. Wear 2, that's the newest one, that all of them are using. And then, of course, you got the remote capture and music and find your device and all the things associated with it. Your Google Maps, your Google Play Store, voice search works really well. There's where you do your weather and heart rate and file manager, all these, sound recorder, so forth. Gallery, camera is over here. And we've got, wow, I'm on the lowest brightness, folks. Sorry, it's almost washed out, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of wiggling. I'm going to take a picture, I hope, if I hit it just right. There, I got a picture, and I'm going to bring it in, and we're going to do the traditional double tap to show you I can zoom in, double tap again, I can zoom in, double tap, I go out. If I double tap and hold it, I can zoom way in or way out, right? And, da-da-da-da, can I? No, I don't have pinch and zoom on this one. What is that? Look at the Thor 4 Dual video we just did. We got a contest going on that if you're watching right now that you can win one. The Thor 4 Dual has pinch and zoom. So you'll see what that means in that video. It's way beyond what it means for pictures. It also means with 2-point or more multi-touch capability, you can play games on it that require you to use 2 touches at the same time, for example. In terms of details, this is where we find out that it's 1920 by 2560. Multiply that out, you get 5 megapixels, but that means it's up interpolated, so the camera's a 2 megapixel camera. Am I going too fast for you? I hope not. I'm trying to go fast for everybody that knows what the heck I'm talking about. Clock, calendar, downloads, browser, messaging, settings, all this stuff, the contacts, phones, and messaging has to do with SIM card. There is no Bluetooth calling from this watch or any Android 7.1 watch at all yet. Only a few of the Android 5.1 watches support an app that says Bluetooth calling. And when you play with that app and you're tethered, you can actually make and receive Bluetooth phone calls or tethered phone calls, which makes this, in other words, a dual mode watch, both Bluetooth and SIM card calling, if it's a 5.1 Android smartwatch. This one does not do it. Unfortunately, none of them will. If you're buying a new watch, if you get a watch, rule of thumb, you get a watch that has that ambient display thing going on, it's not going to have Bluetooth calling. Okay? Makes sense? By the way you get to that is through the settings. And here are the settings. So we go into the settings. You've got your basic sound, display. This is where we had the always time. You can turn it off or on. If you'd rather have it off, you can. And notification bright screen means that if you have that on, you can have the other, you can set your timeout. I'll set it to 10 minutes and that one on as well. This means if you get a push notification from your phone, it will open up and light your screen so you can see what's going on. If you have that turned off, it's not going to disturb you or have anybody around you be able to see what that notice is, right? Okay. That's all under the display. App list style is just a round or arc, and if those of you like round, and not all of them, the Android 7.1 watches do it this way, but this one has that capability. If you like that kind of a layout, you can go for that. Get back into settings. We've got your connection for Wi-Fi, cellular, all of those things. Your overall gestures for raising your arm to see the time or turning on or off the basic pedometer services if you don't want to use power for that. Power, language, date and time, resetting, uninstall applications. This is new. The quick SOS. You set this thing up And if you press and hold the side button for 5 seconds, it's going to do two things. It's going to make an emergency phone call to the number that you specify, and it's going to send a text message that you fill in what you want the text message to say to that same number. So for seniors, for anybody that needs and wants to have that security that if you got a SIM card in it, you just sit there, press that button and hold it, and it's going to put out a quick text message to the phone number and attempt to call it. So if the person doesn't answer the call, they're going to have a text message that's got your emergency information anyway. So you should be able to reach them one of two ways. Really nice feature. That's the use for the bottom button. It also works as a back button to take you back. This one is your on and off. And a long press on this one gets you into here where you can make the screen square for regular apps from third-party vendors, so you can see the corners and work with menus, or make it fully round, power off, reboot, power save, or your recent tasks, which is where you can delete things that you have running, or you can just simply switch to them. If I want to switch back to the camera, I can just do that, and I'm back there. And there's the camera going on again. Okay, back home. Switch again, or delete, whatever you'd like to do. Oh, quick overview, huh? Watch this. So I took this watch out on the road, and I checked the 4G data connectivity, and I filmed it on this little camera here, and I want to show you. First of all, right here where I'm sitting, I have maybe 1 or 2 bars of signal strength, and with the SIM card in here on this watch, this is what I got. That was my last reading. 2.47 download, 2.0 upload, kind of 3G rates, but not very good at that. But nonetheless, it is doing connectivity from the SIM card. Now, I took this thing down. I'm right near the, well, I'll explain it to you.
Well, here's a look at the numbers I got when I ran the speed check on cellular close to my house. Now, I'm retesting it really close to the AT&T tower. This is where we would most likely see, and we are, an incredible high-speed connection. Download looking in the 30 megabits per second. It's at about 31, and upload, way better than Wi-Fi at home, which is only 10. This one's getting about 24, almost 25. So that's really good in speed check.
Now, I'm doing that for you because I'm doing that on a lot of different watches. I'm working on a background task of getting 4G data testing on all of these watches that profess that they can handle it. I'm going to put that video up soon. I've done about 1/3 of them, but you know, I'm going to get it up there so you can see what the results are. Let me give you the bottom line. The newer the watch, the better the results. This has been one of the top ones. The Thor 4 Dual is also another one of the top ones. And from there, they kind of go down to where some of them hardly connect at all. It's not even worth it. So if you're interested in really getting a smartwatch for 4G, make sure you subscribe and come on back when we do that video that compares all the 4G connectivity. What else can I tell you about this thing? Oh yeah, the dock. Remember I mentioned I had something to show you? Yeah. You know what this is? This is a connector that's for a completely different watch, and it actually works perfectly. So it's possible, if you're interested, to get a wire that you could use the USB to plug in and charge in your car or at work or at home, wherever you'd like, and do it by wire instead of worrying about the silly dock. I've always had a weak spot for the watches that have to use a dock. Weak meaning I think it's kind of weak, and I'm really happy to see that. Which watch? Check the show notes down below. I'll tell you which one. Where can you get it? I don't know yet, but probably from the company or the distributors that sell the watch that use this connector. Faces. Here we go. The faces that come stock with this. I'm not going to load them all up, but I'll show you a little bit. You see they're all here. There are not many of them, and they're kind of stock watch faces that we've seen before on all of these watches. And it will accept the custom watch faces too. Like, for example, this one by Tim and Pierce Collins is the same generic watch face as the ambient one, like here. In this case, they've added a little indicator for your battery power, so you can glance real quick and see that. But they have another one that has date. They have it in white against black, black against white, the whole 9 yards. That's one of the custom watch faces that fits on here. There's a whole bunch of other ones that can come in here, and these are the ones that you can get from the little plus sign that's at the very end. When you go all the way down here, I went a little fast, but you see that plus sign? Tap that, it accesses the server. Well, when we're on the network, I have it off the network, I think, right now, but you'll be able to, oh, there they are, probably coming in over the cellular speed. You'll be able to download any of these watch faces and a whole bunch more that you'd like. And when you do, they will show up in here with these little minus signs that you can delete them if you want to, or have them in there if you like to keep them. And there's some pretty creative ones that make this watch look really nice. I know, I see it too. The elephant in the room is circling us, the big black border around it. It's a big watch. It's a massive, dressy statement watch. So in a sense, the black border is okay. I know, I'm trying to make lemonade out of this. None of us like that black border, but if it was all the way to the edge, it just might be a little too in your face. It's a dance between space for the watch face and space for the bezel. And they're trying to strike a balance, it looks like, on this one. Are the bands removable? No. The antennas are definitely in the band. You're not going to get that kind of 4G in a solid metal watch. Folks, hello. Antennas have not been made to do that yet. But because they put them in the bands, and they're very pliable, they've definitely improved the technology on bands with antennas in them. Look at that. Because they're in there, they can make this really nice case and still give you incredible connectivity. You've got Bluetooth, works great. You've got GPS, works great. You saw all the details I got on testing with GPS on cycling and running and whatnot. All of it's working really, really good. So all in all, this is an amazing watch. It's the FINOW X7, right? And the buying link, well, check the show notes, because as soon as I have a place for you to buy it, I'll list it there. Right now, as you're watching this, we're about halfway through Chinese New Year. One foot is in the boar and the other foot is in the dog, I guess. I think, yeah, we're going from dog to boar, boar to dog. Anyway, it's a brand new Chinese New Year, and they love to celebrate. So nobody's home, but they will be soon. And you don't want to order right now anyway. There's nobody there to ship it to you. But when they get back, I'll get a buying link for you from one or more of our distributors. Check the show notes. We'll try to get good coupon discount for you, and you can pick it up at your leisure and have it shipped right to you. Okay. You've been watching Smartwatch Tips, where you learn a whole lot of good stuff and some alternatives as well. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing. If you do, please give us a like and subscribe. We are definitely trying to build the channel, have more contests like the one we got going on right now for a Thor 4 Duel, and more. All right, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.